If you've ever been eaten alive by mosquitoes on Memorial Day weekend because you touched grass and spent a majority of it outside, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, folks. Welcome back. Hope that you had a wonderful Memorial Day holiday. Remember, freedom isn't free. Thanks for coming back. Happy Tuesday. We got 13 in the back. We got a couple of special guests lined up for today. We have a full slate of stuff, so let's get right to it.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
Okay. Breaking news from Nicholas. GME now stands for Good Morning Everyone. So that's what we're going to do. When we talk about GME, we're going to start with Good Morning Everyone here on our show. Nick, appreciate the positivity there. Awesome stuff. Welcome back to another episode of Live Trading. Let me bring on my main man, 13. 13, how were you? How was your weekend? How are you doing? And how was your weekend?
Oh, I'm doing fine. My weekend was warm and it was enjoyable. GME, by the way. And I can't complain. It was a good weekend. Got to do what I wanted to do.
Okay, I do need to confirm something with you. I have heard that literally everything is bigger in Texas. And is it true that mosquitoes are also bigger in Texas and like silver dollar size?
They're really big. We call them pterodactyls.
We call them pterodactyls.
Yeah, they're quite massive.
Okay.
And they're on you long enough they can leave a good size well, but
okay,
it's fine. Just use your hand.
just use your hand. Okay, really good stuff, folks. Again, we do have a truncated week because of the Memorial Day holiday. We're gonna start off right away with a special guest. We're literally gonna start the week off fast. We're gonna hit the ground running. From Trade the Pool, we're gonna bring on Michael. Michael, how are you doing here today? How was your
What's
weekend?
up, guys? Good, very good. Busy as usual. What's going on?
Not much. Not much. We're sharing bug stories here. Apparently 13 has a terrible one. I've got a really good one. So it's just a regular old Tuesday here talking about bugs here in the United States.
I actually took 5 out of my room yesterday. So yeah.
Okay, so you're dealing with it too. Okay. Well, that's
mosquitoes, yeah.
Okay, yeah, mosquitoes are the worst. I've always said, though, a lion does not concern himself with mosquitoes. So just thinking about that. Anyway, Michael, what do you have going on here for an event?
Yeah, so you want to talk about the event or first talk about stocks?
How about you decide for the group what we want to do or what we want to do first here? I'm ready to do it all. So.
Okay, so I got to start with the charts, First of all, let's talk about trading. And obviously, I'm looking at a NASDAQ. I just shared my screen. Is it on?
Boom, okay, it is.
Nice. So what's going on, guys? Hey, great to be here, like always. So I'm looking at the NASDAQ first, just to analyze it, try to understand what's going on. And if we're going back a little bit, we can see that the NASDAQ been trading within that channel for quite some time. And whenever we reached that top, like 2 months ago, we started to decline from that top, continued to rise, and then traded in that channel as well in the last few weeks. You can see that we broke through it, retested, bounced from it once, twice, and now the idea is to try to reach that top of the range of that big channel. So this is right now at least 19,400. That's the area we can expect, at least in my opinion, to reach, unless we won't break through that resistance, that previous high, and then dropping down. The idea should look like this: dropping down, retesting it, and then dropping to hit that lower level. If we'll do that and continue down, we can expect another retest to this level and then maybe all the way down. This is like the worst case scenario in this case, but definitely expecting to see a bounce to hit that resistance at the top of the range and then maybe start to decline again. But for me, I'm looking at both of those channels right now.
Okay, so first question for me here, Michael. You're giving us a channel here for the NASDAQ. Do you play this, or do you play other related stocks or stocks that are in the NASDAQ when you see this formation?
Right. So first of all, in Trade Pool, you can trade the ETFs, so the Qs, for example, or the TQQQ, SQQQ. You can definitely do that. Me personally, I'm a big fan of trading the NASDAQ itself, but I always go for the big one. So you would see me pulling that also either on the Qs or like Tesla, Amazon, AMD, those kind of stocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. What else you got for us?
So besides that, we have few stocks that I'm watching. Obviously, NVIDIA, like always, I mean, you can't escape that, right? I mean that's
it seems like you have to at least look at NVIDIA. We do that here. Obviously, it's button up against 1100 now, so
that's insane. Really, that's
so
insane.
insane.
So one thing to look at on a 1 minute chart with pre and after market, you can look at the 200 EMA. I really like to work with that, and you can see it bounce from it a couple of times, and also at pre-market just a few minutes ago, basically. So we can start working our scenario across this 200 EMA. Of course, NVIDIA is very strong, but somehow, some way, it should decline. So one thing could be just a drop below the 200, wait for the retest, see that it's actually holding as resistance, and then try maybe to short it for today. Obviously, we will have this support at 1,085, the pre-market low. So this is one scenario you can watch. And besides that, I got Dell, DELL, bouncing as well today. Nice move last day, like on the 24th. And right now, bumping up again. So you can see it retesting that high from that day or Friday, and basically breaking through the 169 and retesting it could lead for another push to the upside. So those are the two. I'm watching also SE and DKNG, but we'll give it a minute until we'll get more volume.
Okay, now real quickly on DKNG, that's of course DraftKings. There's actually news out of my home state today here stateside about them increasing the tax on sports gambling. Now, I don't have all of the details in front of me. I apologize, but that was news as I woke up here today. DraftKings obviously trading lower on that news here. But Michael, I'm looking at the DraftKings chart here in the pre-market, and this has got a great little channel kind of set up. I'm looking maybe a break above 38.5 or a breakdown beneath 37, and then a back test might give us a trade setup.
Yeah, we need to remember, we need to try to understand how aggressive or how strong are the news here, right? I mean, is that really bad or just a bump in the road? So how high are the taxes and how really going to affect it in order to see the extra momentum to the downside? Generally speaking, that's a strong stock, right? So I wouldn't expect a whole lot from it, unless the taxes are really high in this case.
Yeah, well, so a couple of things here really quick. The taxes are, in Illinois, the taxes are always high. They only know about high taxes here in this state. It's actually kind of embarrassing. But the important thing to note here is that this is only for this particular state. So you bring up a really good point about this being a very, very strong stock. To me, this is just one state. I think that this might actually, well, this was approved for a budget, so maybe this gets challenged in the future. I agree with you. I think that this is a potential area where when the selling is exhausted from the headline, this thing could bounce. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. So I guess the next thing is to talk about the big event that we are hosting. It's actually coming this Monday. I'll share my like a landing page. Tell me if you see that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So the idea, guys, is that we are going to run 8 hours of live trading, but also with a lot of education inside of it. So we're going to do scanning and analysis, the trading journal, really understand how we can implement the trades or import the trades that we just did, and try to understand from the stats how can we improve and what we need to continue doing every single day. It's we have 5 days. So if you want to join, I guess I can put the link here in the chat.
You probably have to give it to me because it won't allow links.
Okay, gotcha.
If you give it to me, I'll throw it in the chat there for the group. No problem.
Okay, so I'm sending it here. Yeah, okay. I sent it like in the back.
Yep, perfect.
Nice. So yeah, everybody, you can just register. It's obviously for free, 8 hours. We bring in 8 pro traders. And we're going to announce also a bunch of new stuff that we have. For example, first time that I'm saying it live. So swing trading program for you guys that are enjoying swing trading. That will be the first actually program that we're launching for that focusing on swing traders with longer time to pass the evaluation. And besides that, we also have a new hub for traders that we just built. We're still working on the design. It's going to be amazing and more good stuff. Raffle and announce the competition that we are about to out. So definitely check it out. And I'll see you there.
I'm glad you're breaking the news because I've wanted to tease the new hub since you mentioned that to me. I am super excited about it. Thank you for coming here and breaking that. We're definitely looking forward to that. And also that swing evaluation program, really, really good idea by you and your team because not everybody excels at day trading. I like that idea with the swing evaluation. Good stuff.
Yeah, many guys ask us to bring a dedicated swing program. So we'll listen to the street.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, Michael, that was a really eventful premium. Do you have anything else for us today?
No, I think we're good. I mean, keep an eye on those stocks and the market. And yeah.
Indeed. And anytime that you want to come back for picks or news drops, you let me know. We will bring you on. Michael, cannot thank you enough. Have a great day.
Thanks so much, guys. Good luck.
All right. Awesome. Take care, Michael. So, all right. Really, really good stuff there, folks. Like he said, new hub coming to Trade the Pool. That is going to be really exciting. I know sometimes you guys see me kind of struggling with my order entry. I'm really, really excited for that. But I'm most excited for the whole swing thing. I've told you a bunch of times. I'm more of a swing trader than a day trader. So to me, that's really exciting that they're moving that way. So really good stuff, really good plays there. I am watching DraftKings for a potential play here today. 13, I know we're running out of time here. Why don't we dive into the market and get the group prepared on the rest of the stuff that we have here? So we will talk about some of these plays. First thing I'm going to do is go to Benzinga Pro. We're going to talk about the SPY. 13, I'm going to be very, very quick here. We talked about this big bar here from Thursday. We are still inside that. So to me, all of this different price action that's going on right now, I want to know what happens when we break either the top side of the bar, what happens when we break the bottom side of the bar. Until then, it's going to go back and forth. I'm not really going to care about it. What say you?
Well, let me take a look at this candle here. Yeah, so we're still inside. Yeah, like you said, if we can't get back up to the previous all-time high that we had, which was 531.56. Because I guess we put in a new one on Thursday, didn't we? Looks like it. Then I'd say that because what I'm looking for,
yes, I think that was Thursday. Sorry.
What I'm looking for, and I think I explained it on Thursday in Happy Hour, is that I wanted to see the next couple of days kind of trade back up, try to recover from this this selling. Mm-hmm. And I anticipated that we'll end up just rolling over and going lower if we cannot get back above that previous all-time high. So this is day 2 now. So I'd be looking for a rejection up at that previous all-time high level. That's kind of what I'm looking for, just in terms of the broader market. We can do whatever, the smaller names, they can do whatever they want because nobody really likes them anyway. let's talk about it.
That's really well said. I'm going to highlight this comment first here because I agree with R-G asterisk saying early bears will get shifted. Oh, I see. I think you meant shafted and you left out the A. I would agree there. Being early to the bear case has been very, very rough. And so hopefully that's not hopefully we're able to kind of stay out of that right now. I am still in a bear camp, but I have nothing on for the short side, at least not yet. Okay, really good stuff there on the SPY. Let's talk about some of the other movers here. We got a whole bunch of people already looking at it. Let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to go ahead and flip over to my movers workspace here. I noticed a couple of people already mentioned SWIN. This was the Chinese box job from last week. Of course, this fell from a 40 handle, really just kind of rode the lows here. I guess it is trading up here on a little bit of volume. I'd be very, very careful with this one here today. This one's not on my radar. I have way better stocks to trade, including things that I absolutely trust. I'm sure we'll check in on this one, especially if it gets rolling here. It is currently bouncing off the VWAP. But I have some other targets here on S1. This is where it is. Remember, this came from $40+ down here at $4. Be careful if this is what you trade.
I think the whole thought here is that, it sold off a whole bunch really fast, so there's going to be a technical bounce.
Yes, they also announced strategic partnership with a capital firm that I've never heard of to expand their virtual asset allocation opportunities. So sounds good. You got a little bit more clarity here from our news desk. SolarWind enters a strategic partnership with My Capital to expand its virtual asset allocation opportunities. SolarWind agreed to acquire 199,210 ordinary shares, representing a 2.47 equity stake in a fintech lab. So I'm not sure if this works. Again, we just saw this thing drop from 40+ to 4. There is some news here today. That's what's going on.
How many shares did you say that they picked up?
Just under 200,000. Okay.
So they got a 20% stake, basically.
No, it said a 2% stake here. It said a 2.4% equity stake in BA FinTech Lab.
Okay.
So an exempted company incorporated under the law of the Cayman Islands. Like I said, there's some loose ends here. It is good news. The stock's trading up here. Maybe it is on the radar. I'm just saying.
I was just looking at their float. I should have been looking at their outstanding shares.
Yep, all good. Totally good. Good morning, Lionatus. Welcome back. Hopefully you are having a great day, and hopefully you had a great holiday. Let's talk about some of the other stocks that are on the list here, because we had a bunch of them. S1 wasn't even really on that. Let's start here with INSM. This is Insmed. Insmed shares are trading higher after the company announced top-line results from an Aspen phase 3 study met its primary endpoint. 13, I talked to you about almost any of these biotechs, especially ones that are in phase or that meet their phase 3. What's next here?
Next is starting to likely raise more capital to bring it to market. They're going to have to go through FDA approval in order to do that. So the phase 3 is typically like the last phase that you're going to see these biotechs announce before they start trying to get this their drug to be marketable and profitable. The thing is that it has 146 million share float, so it's not going to move around as easily as some of these other low float ones will. But that does have it is holding the price around 50. So as long as it continues to do that, we could see a revisit of the pre-market highs that we got this morning, which was 65.96. So that's what I'm going to be looking for with this one, is if it can continue to hold that $50 level. If not, then maybe it's just not going to be worth trading.
Okay. We'll see if INSM gets rolling here today. That was the first one on the list. Next one here is going to be POAI. Oh, did I have to click on it here? We got a chart error. Let me go ahead and what happened here on POAI? Here, let me try it. Interesting. This actually was working earlier. Here we go. I was going to say, maybe I just need to log out here. This was working earlier. Okay. Predictive Oncology shares are trading higher after the company announced results from its ovarian cancer study with UPMC Maggie Women's Hospital. So looks like they had a study here on ovarian cancer. Market is rewarding them up 45% here. PR is in the pro news feed here. Let me see if they did anything about numbers. Surgery and frontline chemotherapy are effective. In the near term, nearly 80% of patients will relapse in 1 or 2 years. Only 20% will be long-term survivors. It looks to help that. Actually, I think we probably are. Go ahead.
This is actually the announcement of their results of that study that they're going to be presenting at this Society of Clinical Oncology annual meeting, which takes place May 31st to June 4th.
Yep.
So this is getting ahead of that.
So why do you think they would do this?
To pump the stock?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. So I'm wondering here what the action looks like today, and then maybe if you guys take notes on any of these stocks, maybe note this date range for this conference. Right, that's going to be May 31st through June 4th. That is Friday to Tuesday. So starting this Friday over the weekend, and then you've got the Monday and the Tuesday session in there. It's in Chicago. I wish I could say I'd be doing some boots on the ground due diligence for you, but I got to be honest, I'm not going to be doing that. not this weekend.
Pump the stock, and we also want people to, mark the date on their calendar, because for those that do care about, oncology and ovarian cancer, this is, something they're going to want to pay attention to. But of course, in our line of work, we're going to pick it up, and we're going to see that as a trading opportunity.
Yep, absolutely. That's just how it goes.
And welcome, Robert. Welcome. He signed up.
Which Robert? Oh, yeah. No, I got an email from him over the weekend. Welcome, Robert. Welcome to the family. Hope to catch you in happy hour today if you're available. Be sure to check out the happy hour chat. I'll go ahead and post the link in that chat room just in case people are struggling with the little banner that appears at the bottom.
Final touch on POAI. They do have a 4 million share float. They did a 1-for-20 reverse split last month on the 24th. And other than that, it looks like they're trying to get going here again in pre-market before we open. So
I was going to say it's about 2 cents from recapturing the VWAP. Okay, 5 minutes till we open. Let me roll through a couple of more of these real quick, and then we'll talk about some stocks here from the chat. GME, we talked about this one a little bit. This actually is higher. Okay, this was higher at the pre-market session on Friday. It's higher here today. GameStop shares trading higher if the company announced the completion of its at-the-market equity offering programs. Company now has money. Stock trading up. Looks like it's trying to break out 24. Look, if GME gets rolling here today, I'm sure we'll be trading it. We'll be flipping back and forth. I'm not looking to grab this right out of the open, but know what's going on here. GME is trading up. Looks like a possible 24 break here. NUKK, that's not really doing anything. This stock, though, let me tell you something. There are a couple of things that we called last week, and this one was probably the top. Okay, OKLO. We talked about this this day right in here. We talked about it on Thursday, right? Started to pop just a little bit. Didn't really have a huge move, but had some pretty good volume. Well, guess what? Friday, the relative volume, the momentum players were in here. This thing had a huge move. Now it's gapping even higher. This thing had potential entry on just kind of a spec, just under $8. Let's call it $8 because the next day it actually dipped right to $8 right out of the open. $11.65 here today. So we'll watch this one. OKLO. Volume is a little bit muted here in the pre-market. We get a volume day like we did on Friday. The sky's the limit for this thing. If it starts to pull back, just know where it came from. OKLO, definitely missed this one. Definitely missed this one.
I'm glad that Gerald Fitz brought this up because this is something I mentioned to you in pre-market fist fight, that some of these nuclear names, not the big ones like quadruple U or CCJ, but some of these smaller modular or newer age nuclear names are actually getting recognized. And yes, NNE is another one. So is SMR. Those were both moving this morning, as was OKLO. So I'm just curious if he's around, Jay Rice, please tell us if this is something you've been watching or what could be moving this. I'd imagine that that Climatech 2024 in Boston that's taking place on June 3rd to 5th might have something to do with it, but I'd love to get some additional information if you have that, if that's not the case.
Now that June 3rd to 5th, remember that's Monday to Wednesday next week. So that's right around the corner here, 13. Good shout on that one. SMR also one of the stocks on this list.
Yeah. So I'm just curious about that. If that Climatech 2024 has anything to do with the movement, or if these are just the names that we need to be paying attention to because they're offering something different than the traditional nuclear names are.
Also, real quick here, right before we open, looks like Tesla moving towards the lows here out of the open. I'm actually going to log out of my platform and log back in here because I don't know what's going on. Tesla, anyway, moving towards the lows here in the pre-market. One of the other things looks like we'll obviously check in on NVIDIA. I mean, that goes without saying. NVIDIA has just been kind of a top mover. And then there was someone else in here. I can't remember who it was because it's off the screen now. Oh, it was from one of our Twitter viewers, Nikolai. Nikolai wanted to know about XOM. Nikolai, this was not on our list for stocks here this morning because this wasn't going to gap or have any type of relative volume from this morning. But since you mentioned it, I mean, we've been talking about XOM quite a bit recently. We've been talking about the price of oil. This, to me, actually looks like it's hunting for a potential bounce spot. 13, I don't know if you have anything on XOM. I know we didn't really prepare for this. Okay, if you don't. But
well, it's interesting. I actually have a couple of lines that I drew some time ago that shows that since October of 22, we have been kind of bouncing around in a bit of a range. And just recently, we kind of got up to the top of that range in April. We've come back down. Now, this could be, could be one of two things happening here. It could be just, part of a bull flag that's been forming. Mm-hmm. We might see reversal soon, or we actually hit the top and it's starting to come in, and I'd start matching up possible movement with what's been going on in the world with energy news. And I think I saw some headlines today about United Arab Emirates almost hitting their peak production, causing OPEC issues. So I'm not sure if that might be contributing to the downside of XOM today, but I'm definitely looking at towards more of the news since we already have made this technical bounce off the top here, and it looks like we're open.
We are open really quickly. Felicia Rosansky from our community gifting 20 Benzinga memberships to the YouTube chat here. I mean, Felicia, can we get like some fanfare here? For Felicia, by the way, real quickly, Felicia, our real estate expert, been joining us on the happy hour for a long time, giving us a lot of really good information about real estate, the happenings in real estate, and how it relates to stocks. Felicia, you are appreciated. Thank you so much. Smash up the like for our community here. It is the best on the internet. It just is.
OAI, the one we were just talking about sorry for interrupting, but it's got rejected at VWAP out of the gate here. So it's going lower, but trying to find support from this consolidation that we also were seeing in the pre-market. So not quite sure where it's headed yet, but breakdown of about 225 would be bearish. And if we can get over the VWAP and hold that and move above 250, that'd be bullish.
Okay. Really awesome. Let's see. I don't know. Producer Alyssa, do I have to do anything with these gifted? I'm like so shocked by this. I'm not even sure what to do. So help me out. Let me know if I have to do anything or if they're just awesome.
Well, Lynn, Randy, I hope you guys are feeling better. Sorry to hear about the back pain. And looks like we're getting that push with POAI. Sorry, I'm back and forth. So. No,
it's fine. Back pain's the absolute worst. Real quick here, POAI did look like it was trying to push away there from the VWAP. We'll see if I'm actually a little bit curious here if this is going to happen. 235 has some size there. POAI. I also want to take a look here at DraftKings, DKNG. Okay, we're still waiting for that to break. Let's take a look here at PAOAI. God, I'm going to screw that up a million times. Alyssa, what's up?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. It wasn't working for a second. So yeah, the gifts they give out like automatically, I think. You don't have to do anything.
Okay, great. So Felicia basically just hooked up our entire chat early on a Tuesday here, and I don't have to do it. That is about as perfect as it gets. That is awesome. So, okay, great. Thank you, Alyssa. Well, that means you don't have to do anything too, so that's pretty sweet. That's how we start off Tuesdays here. Let's go.
We love Tuesdays. Okay, bye.
Okay, POAI here. This actually did take out that big offer. Interestingly, it's moving lower here. This one not quite done yet. I'm actually thinking, do we try some of this right here?
I think that I want to just wait and see what happens with 225. It keeps it just went down there and bounced off that, so I just want to see it continue to hold. I want to actually see. Well, on my chart, I use 5 minutes, but I want to see it get a 5-minute candle close above VWAP before I start feeling good about taking a position in this.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if we bounce off that low there. 226 is the intraday low print. 225 was the level 13 had mentioned. I see size at 224, 222. So that's what's going on here. Let's get acclimated here after that.
It looks like gift. Looks like NNE had a pop out the gate to VWAP, and then it's coming back in. Right now, I have support at 480. That's where pre-market's been finding support mostly. this morning. So if we can hold that, then there might be some more upside ahead. We just need to make sure we don't start breaking down beneath that, because then we would be, I think, we'd be bearish.
This POAI just bounced pretty good off 226. 227 has some more size in there. Probably should have just added that. Probably should have just added right there, but we'll see what happens. 225, that level that you were taking a look at. Robinhood trading up here. Watch a 21 breakout here. That's ticker Hood, HOOD.
Yeah, that one that we were looking at this morning, INSM, the one that has a really large float, that one really not doing a whole lot. It just kind of, it's going south a little bit, but it's just, there's just not a whole lot of volume in this one in order for it to move meaningfully, because it's got such a large float. So not sure I'll be doing that one.
Yeah, that was a really good call, by the way, in the pre-market. OKLO faked a 12 breakout here. It'll be interesting to see if this comes back in or not. Becca, good morning. Hopefully your weekend was excellent. Mentioning SPWRs was a big runner recently. This trading up here today, that actually looking pretty good. IPW from Wiss, did you get I can't bring it up in Trade the Pool. That's right. Wiss, did you get good golfing in this Memorial Day weekend? Would love to hear how that went. Seeing NVIDIA calls getting bought, by the way. Peggy trading to the highs. NVIDIA now above 1,100. Here we go. Giddy up.
And what daily RSI do you have on NVIDIA now?
Oh, that's actually on one of my other charts here. Give me 1 sec, 13, and I'll get that for you, because I'm sure this is going to be cooked, right?
It's going to be well over sold.
My daily value right now is 77.56.
Well overbought. And we're getting
overbought.
We're getting closer to the really overbought area, which is the 80 RSI or higher. That's going to be an area where you would probably want to not be in NVIDIA if you intend to have these profits. Look at POAI. Here we go. Now we're starting.
So it did start going. That bounce off the bottom. That was it.
That was it right there. Now we need to see some closes above this. The VWAP. I mean, you might have it at VWAP right now.
I took just a little bit there. I'm actually hoping for a pullback so I can add. Good deal here. Just took a little bit right there. 200 shares. Definitely want to at least double that. But probably more than that. Here we go. Let's see if it just goes without me adding, then it goes without me adding. But I missed that bounce right at the bottom. That was a pretty good trade. Here we go. They're taking the size there at 250. Watch this to get a little bit crazy if it moves above that 250. Let's see if it comes back in. We actually saw this kind of come back in before it bounced here. I wouldn't be shocked if that happened again. 250 still has that size there.
250 is a big resistance level to break through.
They're taking it.
They're trying to, that's for sure. It's like we got some sellers stepping in, so that was an area to shave a little bit off. If it goes beneath the VWAP, they could reload, but volume's starting to wane a bit here on this one.
Yeah, I've got VWAP at 238, by the way, so we'll see if we get back down there. Size right around that VWAP. We're saying no golf for me. Enjoyed the pool and warm weather. Look, Memorial Day is a big-time pool weekend holiday, so I'm not surprised there. I would imagine. Here we go. 250 is gone, and here we go through. With this being low size, I'm actually either hoping that this comes. I'm not necessarily worried about getting green on the screen with the low size that I have here. So I'm looking for either two things. One, back to the add zone so we can add to this position and make it something worth it. Or maybe a break towards these highs. I got that at about 280. So if we pop 280 off here and I'm unable to add, yeah, we'll take the gains on that. But otherwise, I'm waiting for something a little bit bigger here. And if this comes in, I'd like to see that too.
Yeah, and it is coming in a little bit. So, yeah, that was a good little pop that we could scalp a bit off of. But we do need to see a bit more volume in this to start pushing through these bigger walls of sell orders, namely at 250 and 258 and 260-ish. So right around there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was fine. I was agreeing with you. But the other thing is I actually added 100 shares right when it came back into VWAP. Still looking to add some more in case it really drops out. But now at least I have a little bit more. Sorry about that, 13. I do think we're going to move back higher here. 252 your intraday high print. I don't think that's it.
So let's see what it does now.
Yeah, James, I'm not sure who got them. Like I said, I will probably look into this a little bit more. That's the first time I've ever been around for something like that. A shout out to Felicia.
And so there's a little bit more of a pull in POAI now. What's the broader market doing? Still around 530. And we have traded 2 million shares. Wow. Don't spend all your money in one spot, folks. There's a prediction that Bitcoin will surge past 110K in Q3. We'll see if that materializes. That would be, I think, what, a 2x from here? I don't know what Bitcoin's price is right now, but sounds about right. 67, so no, not quite 2x, but close.
Sorry, I'm just answering a couple of questions here off camera. I apologize for that. The people are listed in the chat. Scroll up. Oh, the people are listed in the chat. Okay. I appreciate you guys figuring out. Look, how about that, Felicia? Your benevolence has now generated a discussion. I don't think that this is done yet, by the way, on P. So stop here 220, right? If this really starts to like break down, maybe even lower that a little bit more here, maybe like 206. Maybe that's when it would break down here. Let's see if it actually takes these lows out or if it bounces here.
If it's going to get support, it's probably going to be right about in those pre-market areas down, 220 to 225.
Yep.
Like it's been getting this morning.
What I'm saying, in order to stop out of this trade and not give it any more time, I want to see all of those levels break. So I'm not necessarily, again, this is very, very small. I haven't traded in a few days because of the holiday. I'd like to catch something here, right? I'd like to catch something here. Plus, we also added as this pulled back a little bit.
Let's see these other names. So SMR, that had a drop out of the open and came down to about the 810 level where it's getting support, but I don't know that we're going to see it retake VWAP. So that'd be something to watch. NNE, that had a bounce down as well. It's trying to hold this pre-market level where we got the consolidation. Looks like it just dropped that. So 480 would be the one at this one. NNE has to get back above in order for it to retake VWAP. What else is moving? Not a whole lot. I mean, no big movers. Maybe there's some smaller or some larger names that are just kind of slow grinding somewhere. Oh, let's take a look at LIDAR, LIDR, because I know that one's been talked about. Oh yeah, there we go. So this one had a couple of nice green candles out the gate, broke the pre-market high.
Let me start flipping around for you. Sorry, I've been slacking here. 13 here. Oh, look at this. This is a sweet move here on LIDAR.
Now it's coming down, test VWAP. So this is where it would need to get support. And if it doesn't, then I'd imagine that the support would come by way of demand zone that we got in pre-market here. So it would be just under the VWAP at about, let's call it 380 to 375. That would be an area I'd look at for support.
Big pull right here to VWAP. This actually might bounce. POAI right at those lows of the, what did I do here? Oh my God. POAI, I typed in the wrong ticker. Okay, so POAI, this is a potential bounce spot, 222, the low print of the day here. Yikes, if this doesn't turn around. We'll see. SMLR, did you mean SMR? No,
SMLR looks good.
Yeah, that one is also popping. I thought he meant SMR from our list here this morning. That did pull back as using the VWAP as resistance there.
That's what the VWAP is when you get price action that just goes above and below it. It VWAPs.
It VWAPs you. Peggy here moving.
Looks like LIDR is trying to get support from that VWAP, and it is trying to VWAP its way back up to 475.
Carmen, good morning, Carmen. Hopefully you had a great weekend as well. LIDAR highly shorted. Let me actually get you short numbers for LIDAR there real quick. Over 20% of its float shorted on LIDAR. Days to cover here at 1. That average volume has kind of crept up. That was actually a little bit higher. So days to cover, not huge here, but over 20% of this float short is a $4 stock. So
yeah, and the float's kind of small, so you could, and if you look at the average volume, you're pretty close to trading the float almost every day. So that's why it's easy for it to cover.
That initial pop in hood is totally reversed. That actually went broke lower here. Cores, ticker CORZ, Let's see if do I not have that in? No, see, I don't have, that's what happened. So I don't have cores and trade the pool. That popped here out of a little consolidation. Sorry about that. IPW, I also don't. Oh, no, I do have that one here. I think I was typing IWP earlier. This came back in, lost its VWAP there.
Oh, great call, Market Sniper. Bloom Energy, BE. That one's going.
I'll tell you what, that one has been going since we traded it. So this actually came back in. That 17 level was one that we were dealing with before. Watch Bloom also in case it can get above 1815 here. Let's call it 1820.
Okay.
Porsche revealed its first ever 911 hybrid sports car. How did that go, Bosch? Hybrid and sports car in the same sentence. Not used to that.
I've been wondering if that was going to be a thing with how they're able to put electric motors directly onto the axle and still have a sizable gasoline engine. They've been doing stuff like that for a while, so it wouldn't surprise me that you can get the best of both worlds that way. I imagine it's going to be a heavy vehicle, though.
Yeah, I would imagine as well. POAI trying to come up off that off the pre-market low here.
Certainly is.
Breaking that penny stock that we talked about, what was not last week, maybe the week before, that was gearing a little bit here. See if that rolls.
I noticed that FFIE was on the scanner this morning, but I don't think it has the volume to really do a whole lot of anything. Got to pop out the gate and then just dropped right beneath all the pre-market trading.
Yeah, you know what else did that, 13? GME. Right, GME really just gave up everything it was doing in the pre-market here. Now that offering is done.
Oh, there goes POAI. Now we're down to the 65 EMA on 5 minute.
It did break down here. Okay, so I think we're gonna break beneath 2 here. We're gonna have to scram on this trade. Darn, I was hoping we'd be able to add on this lower. It didn't come back.
SMR so far has been recovering nicely. I don't know that this would continue to break down with how it's coming back up, but it's got a test of 9 that I think needs to happen.
This related to those other nuclear stocks that we talked about this morning here. NVIDIA calls hitting the unusual option scanner. Interestingly enough, NVIDIA rolling over from its high print now.
Yeah, that was a pretty high RSI on that one. I think that there'd be also I've talked a lot about how after earnings there might be some profit taking in this, since it would be eligible for long-term gains of being past 1 year of holding the stock. So I imagine we start seeing some exiting out of NVIDIA a little bit, especially with the split around the corner. We're going to see funds and ETFs have to adjust their holdings after the split. So maybe there's going to be some selling with profit taking and in anticipation that there will be selling with the ETFs having to adjust.
Huh. Interesting theory there. POAI, this is going to have to bounce or it's likely done. LIDR, this was great mention here. This actually trading up off that VWAP since Carmen mentioned it. Yep. Looks like WIS, looks like you're on that. Smart guy here. I didn't actually realize this. Acura's NXS was a hybrid. NSX. That was a sweet looking car. I remember that. I never drove one of those. I was fortunate. I worked at a job where I would do valet. I was one of the few people that could drive stick shift. So sometimes when the valet companies either didn't show up or were just overloaded, I got to valet some of the cars. Very, very fortunate. Got to actually drive, I mean, not very far, basically into a parking spot, several different Ferraris that I would otherwise never have an opportunity to get behind the wheel of. NSX, not one I've ever got behind the wheel of, though. Seen a couple of them on the road, never got behind the wheel. Interesting, though. Didn't know about that.
It looks like LIDR is trying to go for 475.
Indeed. Let's see what POAI. If it breaks this low here, we are likely done. Bang. Lower. Let's see if we bounce it all. 2 has some size there. Let's see if we bounce it all here. Not.
ONFO picking up volume. That was one that I was looking at this morning. It had no news on it, and it just didn't look like it would be worth a trade. But let's take a look. ONFO.
I will take a look at that here in a sec. I want to see if this is going to bounce at all here. They're just loading up shares above it. You know, sometimes when it plunges to news lows, it likes to snap back. I could add and hit some of that, but I don't think this is going to do that right here. I think this is actually going to flush.
SMLR, that was getting mentioned earlier. That one looks like it's going to break the intraday high that it put out this morning at the open of 27.85.
Yep, I don't think Peggy's going to do it here. I'm just going to get the stop ready so I can flip around to the other stocks that we're taking a look at here.
Let's see what else we got here.
Oh, they brought in a bid here on. Let me try some. There's some right here. Let me get the stop loss. They
do have a little bit of a task ahead of them now in POAI, trying to get back above VWAP with all this supply in the way now.
Yeah, indeed they do. Basically, we re-break these lows, I'm out. But let's go ahead and check some of the other stuff that's moving around here. Folks did a really good job staying on top of that. GME continues to roll over here. Yikes. POA, it could be a nice bounce. We'll see if it gets there. Peggy, we talked about Peggy right out of the open, Patrick. That is actually continuing to move up here.
SMLR, just mentioned earlier about it breaking the intraday high. It just did. Now its new high is 28.46. LIDR is suspended to the downside. They're halted. Bloom Energy might still have something left in the tank here. If it can get some volume, we might be able to continue to hold VWAP and push up into new intraday highs. Current high is 1734. SMR still hanging in there. It's almost to $9. If it can hold above this 65 EMA and the VWAP, that'd be good news for it. I'd like to see it break 9 though. What else are we looking at, folks? Oh yeah, it crapped out. Target. Let me take a look at Target for you. Up one. Oh, okay. So it's up a little bit today. What news we got here?
Let me flip over to Target. Sorry about that. I'm actually still in POAI. It's trying to bounce. We'll see if this ends up working here. Here is Target. Wow, big move here today on Target.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know what the move here is in Target. I have a couple of thoughts. It could be just that, you know, consumer staples and discretionary are on the more unfavorable side going into this year. So I think those could be better plays toward the later half of the year. Okay. So that weakness might be getting bought up. Maybe it's just a move up, because I didn't Target go down recently quite heavily. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they absolutely did.
So this looks like it's just trying to recover from that. I think that maybe at about 150, you're probably going to see it reverse and come back down.
ASTI popped here. Me too, Ryan, on POAI. Yeah, we'll see. Look, it's either going to work or it's not. If this is a fairly decent bounce spot, if it doesn't, we started the week off on the wrong side of the ledger, but that's nothing we can't make back. Tesla, good call here, Will. Tesla, this looks like this did come off that 173.50 area. That thing was hunting lows. Looks like it is bouncing here. OKLO, we talked about this one earlier today. This still looking like it's trying to bust above 12 here, doing a really good job staying above its VWAP. ONFO, this was another one that you mentioned, 13. I never actually flipped to this one. Looks like this pulled back to the VWAP.
It's because this one had no news and I couldn't find out what it was moving on. So I thought, okay, this might be just another box job. But I'm really liking the one that other folks have been on this morning. Where was it? It was, sorry, I just had it here. SMLR, that one just keeps on putting in new intraday highs. Now we're at 29.14. It's just slow moving though.
Real quick here, DKNG, I'd like to apologize to the group here. We talked about this one being set up. We actually had Michael on talking about this one earlier. Looks like this trade worked out here. We did kind of break 37. We never really backtested 37. Instead, we backtested the VWAP, which was at 37.40, and this thing continued to break down. So here we go, looking like 2 more points or 2 points here on a potential short. DraftKings missed this one. This was a fairly decent setup, though. We'll see if that ends up working here. By the way, for you penny players out there, I'm seeing this one on the Benzinga Pro scanner, STSS. This now just reclaiming its VWAP at 66 cents. See if it pushes higher here. STSS penny play there. INSM still doing nothing, 13. That one, that might just be kind of a...
The float's too big for it to really have any meaningful movement.
Yeah, you hit that one this morning perfectly, I think. ARCT being mentioned by Market Sniper, that back to the highs. Will, so this is an interesting comment here. Will saying the VIX worries me a bit here above 1250. You know, we've been talking about the VIX quite a bit on the Happy Hour show. And one of the things that we had noticed is that every time the VIX comes down in Prince 11, it looks to bounce there. So I'm curious, do you think that the VIX is going to accelerate if it gets above that 1250 level you're mentioning? Are you looking for it to trade back down into the 11s? What are you looking for there with the VIX? I think if we go into the 11s again, it's actually a fairly decent short setup. Market pulling back here, by the way. 529 SPY's pulling off the highs here. Lows of the day on the SPY.
Yeah.
Oh, lots happening this morning. And I'm not, I don't just mean market stuff. Kind of a lot is going on at the moment.
Yep. You know, I would think that if we are going to get some more corrective moves, it's going to happen off that that Thursday candle if we can't retake that previous all-time high. So that's what I'm looking for. All right, what else?
Yeah, I'm looking around here too. We talked about some of the penny plays. We talked about ARCT. I was stopped out of POAI. Sorry, Jane. Not a good one here to start the day. Sorry about that.
You and me both, Line Atlas. I added some last week. I haven't sold any this morning though. I'm waiting for it to go a bit higher.
I'll be honest. This is not. When we first started talking about the stock, it was $66. I have also added as this traded into a 50 handle. There's no way I would be selling that here just 2 points higher. I'm looking for 13. We talked about this potentially being $100 stock. I mean, I'm the slow ads on when this kind of trades back in. I'm not looking to sell, you know, at stock that I bought at 61 at 62.
And it could be some time before it reaches 100,
which is fine.
That's something I'm fine with.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, CCJ. This was another one that was mentioned there. We'll see. Lion Atlas mentioning that this is not. I'm not selling. I'm adding. That makes a lot of sense. Let's take a look here at POAI and see. Did it just flush me? Look at this. 13. It traded right down to my stop and flushed me out. Literally 206 is where I had it. That's the dead low. We'll see if this gets back in there. That stock is literally making fun of me this morning, so I'm not on good terms with it at the moment. AGIO, another pharmaceutical company. This one moving higher. Let me check out the news on this one. I don't think I know this off the top of my head. Trading higher after the company announced it agreed to sell its rights to its 15% royalty on potential U.S. net sales of Sevier's drug to Royalty Pharma. Okay, I don't understand this royalty deal in here. This is going to require a little bit more digging in. More NVIDIA options trading. I'm actually seeing mix of calls and puts. Let me just go to NVIDIA real quick, then I'll keep looking. So NVIDIA looks like this is going to roll to the highs here. Announces a $905 million purchase agreement for the royalty. Impact for brain tumor candidate. Huh. This news actually seems pretty decent.
Sorry, I was looking at other stuff. What is the news?
When you get a chance, there's going to be several documents that I think we're going to need to read through here to totally understand this. So don't worry about trying to do it here while we're live. But ticker AGIO, this purchase agreement and this royalty deal, this actually, I mean, the market's rewarding it, so obviously it's a good thing. But I think that might actually have some legs. I want to read through a couple of these things, but I'm going to do it a little bit later. This is one of those documents that I might need to read a few times.
Daily chart looks interesting. As a matter of fact,
it sure does. Yeah, sure does. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this one might have some legs. Anyway, we'll see. POAI is literally bouncing off that spot that it stopped me at. This is going to go back above the VWAP and make me upset, isn't it, Jane? That I can already tell that's what's going to happen. Danielle, POAI moving up. See? Well, I'll tell you what. If I stay out of it here and you folks are still in it, then we can help each other.
Stay patient or you'll be one.
Stay patient or you'll be one. Size here at 223. So if you're watching this moving back up, that's going to be one of the first levels. Probably so, Ryan. Oh, man. This market just likes to make you feel stupid. INOD, interestingly enough, so we talked about NVIDIA being up. INOD, one of those smaller AI plays, is actually having its first rough day in a bit. This could be good, though, right? Especially if it doesn't give everything back. You actually might have an entry opportunity here. Shout out to Randy, by the way. I hope your back is doing better. I know that those are the worst. Those are the worst days, man. By the way, Lynn and Randy, I hit my hockey parlay last night on the Oilers game. So I think that was a 14-1 move up there. So pretty good.
Yeah, I don't want to ignore Lion Atlas, but he's on the copper plays, and HBM has been one of them.
Okay, no, we will definitely not ignore him. He's been on several of the commodity materials plays, hasn't he?
Might get a breakout in POAI here if they can take out the size of 223.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. They're going to do it.
Oh, man. 232 is that VWAP. Okay, they just took the size out to the downside. Let's see if it starts moving. Man, do I revenge trade this and claw some of the money back?
That's
13.
Dangerous.
We're supposed to be preaching good habits here. Don't be screwing it up for us.
Yeah, I don't want to answer that question. But you know what? If you want to show them what happens when you do that, you can do that yourself.
If you're going to show them the bad stuff that happens. Dan, great to see you. So my secret to that is don't bet the winners because these games have been so crazy. But let me take I think it was a big one too. 14-1 here. Let me get. I never, when I bet sports, guys, I never really bet big. It's why I never come in sad after a bet, and it's why I never have to take on a second job in order to cover the bets because I'm pretty responsible about it. But this was it looks like this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 8-leg parlay, dude. 8-leg parlay plus 1365. Here's your bet. Here, I'm gonna go to this just real quick because apparently I can't even believe this, but apparently there are people out there that don't like sports. Here you go. Look at that. Look at that. So pretty awesome.
Why?
Okay. This is happening. This is happening. POAI is happening. It's actually doing it.
Yeah, but it still has to get above VWAP, and it's having a hard time with the other EMAs right now.
Yeah, but it came off that bottom. I want to revenge trade this. I don't think it's the right move, but I want to do it. Is that an Android phone? Yes, of course it is, Savant. Yes. Own Apple stock, use Android devices. That has been the equation that has worked out for me for a decade plus at this point.
All right. Well, let's move on now. I'm still looking at that. I still have AGI on my screen.
Yeah. So my ONFO pulled back to the VWAP here. We'll see if that sets up.
SPY still trickling lower. Let me see if I can get on a smaller time frame. And oh, look at the POAI go. That just broke through that.
I was going to say, I think this is going to go. I really do. I think this is going to go.
If we're going to get a move in this, I think that it would probably go up to that 250 level and then maybe come right back in. But if it could hold that 250 level, which is above VWAP, that could indicate there might be more upside ahead.
The problem here is that if I try to front run this VWAP move and then it just breaks down, then I took a stupid loss. That's my big, like really getting flushed out at the dead low was the mistake here. Like should have just kind of stayed in there. It was small share. I want to systemize. I really do. I'm serious. I really want to systemize more of these smaller price stocks so we can kind of just turn this into it. Normally when range breaks work, that is so much easier to do. But when it's not working, trying to hit these, it's not been the easiest thing in the world.
Well, you know, one thing that we could talk about, because I know it was getting asked about. Gosh, what was?
Now it's pouring back here.
I was reading something and thinking about something else, and I lost my train of thought.
Dude,
it was actually the T+1. Since we have that now, I think somebody wanted to ask us about that and what we thought.
Mm-hmm.
And if we might,
so the way I look at this, I have an optimistic viewpoint and kind of a pessimistic viewpoint, and I'm gonna give them both to you. Okay. The optimistic viewpoint is that, well, if the funds are clearing more, then retail is able to participate more. That has several things to it, right? If they're going to participate more, hopefully they're going to pay attention and get into it some more, maybe make some better trades. If they're participating more, there's just more volume trading. That's probably a good thing. And then the pessimistic viewpoint is that, well, retail is just going to participate and the algos are just going to take their money.
Maybe.
So I feel like it could go either way. I don't see how more participation is bad.
No, I don't think. I think that you'll probably see more participation, but I think the bigger question is: are we going to see more risk? And it doesn't look like that's happening yet. I think we have to see. Maybe it is with GME and AMC moving up this morning, but I think that if the T+1 has any addition to risk, we'd be seeing it already. Maybe we're just not seeing it yet, but that's what I'm going to be looking for: is how, with the ability to trade more often, how riskier are these retail traders willing to be now? And then funky cold stocks. I use EMAs and support and resistance levels. No, I use both of those, because when it comes to like support and resistance levels, I like to see where the prices were getting resistance and support. There tends to be these consolidation areas that are called supply and demand zones. I use those in addition to EMAs. As EMAs, you'll get things like crossings, like the 65 EMA crossing the VWAP to the upside can more or less be a very bullish move, and it can lead to a quick burst in upside. Same thing when it crosses the downside. It can accelerate the downside selling. So yes, absolutely. I use EMAs and levels. I think they both work especially with the way I trade.
Thank you very much, 13.
Yeah.
Wiss is saying I could also see positions closing more daily. That's what I mean. I think traders could be more active. DJF saying if traders are more active, it might be time to trade Boyle. Careful, that's the Widowmaker, but that does have a ton of volatility.
Okay. So POAI couldn't get back up to VWAP.
How glad am I that I didn't try to front run that VWAP move? That's discipline, because I knew that was going to happen. I got stopped out at the dead low. STSS getting mentioned. That was that penny stock. That's actually, I'll tell you what. You know what sucks about this is that every time you guys talk or mention STSS, I think of SY or SSYS. Excuse me. The position that I'm in, that I'm underwater in. This thing has just been terrible. But I believe they have earnings. SSYS. Is this today? Let's see. The earnings are coming up here. Earnings 5/29 after market. So tomorrow night, this company reports earnings. Maybe they'll bail me out. Anyway, every time I see your STSS stock, I think of the one that I'm holding and I get excited and then I get let down.
We get a mention from Mark Tedder saying that Virgin Galactic is 30%. Not really seeing any reason why off the bat. Maybe it's the short interest. They do have a 25.5% short interest with 3.5 days to cover. So it could be squeezing a bit here, but I just don't see any news that's pushing this right now.
This is
We do have-
SPCE?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And, I guess it's worth mentioning that it could be moving in relation to some of the things that are happening with the space industry. I know that SpaceX is going to have or supposed to have their next launch soon. I think June 5th is the next date that they are planning to launch their test flight. We've seen in the distant past how some of these space stocks can all run together.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what's happening here. I don't have any idea why this is moving, except maybe the short interest.
ARM here ramping. This is actually a pretty good intraday move there. Bosch, that was the news on DraftKings and Flutter. That's actually still driving those stocks. Although DKNG trying to come back to the VWAP, stopping there. It would be interesting to see if it gets above that. SPCE, this is just a total ramp. You had mentioned that one. POAI, which is really kind of toying with emotions at the moment. This actually rejected at the VWAP. You know what, though? We're kind of talking about a potential VWAP break here. Someone in here, maybe it was Market Sniper or somebody else. I can't remember, and I apologize for getting it wrong. You folks were mentioning that this has a potential move up to 3 or 350 if it breaks through that VWAP. I don't know about 350, but hell, just to move up towards the pre-market highs at 280 would be a pretty decent move from here. This one of those that if the selling gets exhausted here in the morning and it really doesn't break down, this could be one of those potential junkier stocks that pops in the afternoon. So, Jane, I don't know how active you're going to be here today. Maybe at least keep this one on your radar and see if there's an opportunity to claw some of that money back a little bit later. That's why we keep the losses small so that the clawback is much easier.
Somebody was asking about CVS, and
that was Lion Atlas that was asking about CVS.
It keeps going lower. I'm looking at the last earnings here, and it looks like that just didn't really meet expectations. I think that's probably why. Let me get a better view here, because I noticed that just looking at the income statement, it's the income was much lower than it was in previous reports. So I'm thinking that this is my last trip to the store didn't meet expectations either, frankly. And I'll tell you something else here. I can't remember who this was, but I think we talked about Target, some of these other stores, CVS, Walgreens, Boots Alliance. Are these good buys? I'll tell you what, until everything is taken out of locked cases, I don't like any of these names. All right. Now that might not be the right analysis, but I mean, I'm thinking first of all, I don't really go to these stores much myself anymore. I get all that stuff cheaper elsewhere. And the times that I'm forced to go into those stores, all of the product is locked up. If you go to your CVS calendar, I think you can really illustrate why it's continuing to go down. And this might be just the beginning. So, I mean, buy into the strength. Buy into the weakness. Absolutely. And sell into the strength. But right now, it seems like this weakness might just be getting started. So were you talking about the earnings weakness from the calendar? Is that what you wanted to take a look at? Go to the earnings calendar and you'll see what I mean.
So here you go. I mean, look, this stock has beaten every quarter since 2014.
Yeah.
Until last quarter.
Until last quarter when it had
it was horrific.
Yeah.
So this is what so this is how I would analyze this 13 without knowing anything else about this. This is how I would analyze this. It's possible that this was just kind of a blip, right? And then we return. That's possible. I don't want to rule it out. I don't know for sure. But one of the things that I'm going to be watching over the next couple of quarters, what does this number look like? Do they immediately jump back? Is there a new trend here? Is the trend changing? Those things could be watched. I'm glad that you brought this up. This is eye-popping, frankly. Eye-popping.
Yeah, I think that was a really big change in their revenue and their EPS, and it just kind of scared a whole bunch of people out, and it continues to do that. So until they stop being worrisome about their revenue, this selling may likely continue.
Yeah. Real quick here, Becca's saying at least they are trying to be proactive against theft. This is true, but thinking about it, not only locked up, but no salespeople to help open the lock. That's the thing. Like, I used to go to these stores to be able to get something small or really, really quick. And if one of those things is locked up and I have to wait and this, that, and the other thing, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, probably a smaller thing. The earnings here are going to be way more tangible. Look at this. We were trading decision. Really good stuff there. Joe saying Walgreens is better than CVS for real. Look, anyone that has spent any time in the Chicagoland area knows how great Walgreens is and has had Walgreens bail them out of something, whether it's a cold or a tummy ache or otherwise. Okay.
Proactive against sales. That's great.
Oh, man.
Proactive against sales. I thought that was funny.
Is that what I said?
No, that's what Thinking About
God.
It said.
No. Oh, God. Okay.
No, because Becca says at least they're being proactive against theft, and he came back with proactive against sales.
I know, but I was going to say, did I misread Becca's comment? Because that would have been a faux pas. She said it correctly.
You guys are funny.
Yes, we are. Anyway, really good stuff here. Sorry for the digression there. Hopefully you found that interesting. And we come back to CVS, moving lower here and maybe putting in the bottom. Let's take a look at OKLO. Were we able to get above 12 on that yet? Nope, we actually broke down. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
How about this stuff? How about POAI? Let's see if this curls back up here.
Yeah, POAI looks like it's trying to come back.
GME is bouncing.
Oh, that
GME is bouncing.
T+1. Here it comes.
Should I throw that in the show title? T+1 traders.
Oh gosh, dude, it's a shirt already. It's a shirt.
Oh, dude.
T+1.
13. I hope you don't have family plans later today. I might call you about some of those t-shirt things because I think I have a couple of ideas. We might actually need to talk on the phone tonight. We'll see. 13's like, no, man. I've got plenty left over for you. You better not call me tonight. OBLG, by the way, for you penny players, this one moving up higher here. INOD bouncing. We talked about that kind of selling off a little bit. That seems orderly as that's kind of holding in here. Tesla, we talked about that one really kind of finding the bottom. Boy, that bounce off 173.50. Glorious here. 2.5 points off that.
But SPY still not turning around yet. Still in the 29 handle, 529 handle.
OKLO getting a mention here. Kingdom Lamb. We are making higher lows off that initial pull. Let's see if we can reclaim the VWAP. Canada Goose above Friday's intraday highs.
Well, man, STFU, you just kind of roll out of bed and make some gains. Good job. That's a great problem to have.
Yeah. I mean, life could be so much worse than that. Trust me.
Hey, you could be getting eaten by the pterodactyls out here.
Oh my God. When you called them pterodactyls, I was like, oh, I can just imagine some giant ancient looking bug trying to suck my blood in real time. I mean, get out of here with that. That's almost like something out of a nightmare. By the way, PWP here, this is a swing that we kind of took this as kind of an experiment. Well, the experiment is working. We took this swing based off a Congress member purchase. They had earnings that really kind of sold it off. We added. It went higher. It continues to go higher here. I'm looking for a breakout above 20 on this position, and we'll start thinking about selling it. PWP, this is working here. First ad was, I think, 1510, or our first initial buy was around 1510. Ad was in a 13 handle. After earnings, here we are, 16 plus PWP.
I'm still waiting to see if Pelosi ends up selling her calls that she has in NVIDIA, because I think that could be a big market catalyst for some downside. Can you imagine if her selling her calls triggers a sell-off in the market? How much blame?
Well, first of all, what does that tell? That tells me that traders are really good at adapting, because if they are now taking signals from Congress people's buys and sells as possible data points for making a trade, that's not something I ever thought that I would see before. If Pelosi's selling her call position, she's up over $1 million or something on that, isn't she? Or isn't that like a huge winner for her?
So her calls she got in November, there are 50. She got 50 of them. They're $120 strikes. They expire on December 20th of this year. So she's up a lot.
Yeah, she's up a lot. Okay, let's leave it at that because that's still accurate. She's up a lot. If that's what causes a market sell-off, I mean, I can't help but think how funny that would be. Christoph saying, always listen to your Congress people when it comes to investing in the stock market. LOL. I mean, I'm just saying. They don't ever seem to lose. So.
Not going to listen to them. I'm just going to watch what they do.
Yeah, watch what they do. There, hey, 13. That is what we needed.
Because then you'll have Senator Warren come in and start this completely talk down the market, and meanwhile she's like asking her broker, by the way, what should I get?
Oh my God, this comment gave me like shivers up my spine. And if I have to go through it, so too do you. My brother lives on the western edge of the Ozarks in Arkansas. And oh boy, I've never seen a biomass like the mosquitoes swirling around under an awning at a gas station just after sunset. It was vile. Look, man, that's when you strap on the backpack of whatever chemical is as flammable as it can be, and you get yourself a makeshift torch and you go to town. I've been there. Absolutely been there. Okay, enough joking around about bugs. Let's see if the scanner has picked up anything new here. DraftKings, actually, this got bought back. This is what I mean about that little VWAP rejection trade. Those are short-term trades, but man, that worked out pretty well here today. Let's see. Up north, mosquitoes are so badass. We call them Suck Norris. I could probably go through my entire life without doing that. That is for certain.
Yeah, you ever see it? It's not a great movie, but you see the Land of the Lost movie with Will Ferrell in it. There's a scene that might give you an idea of just how bad.
I don't know if I've seen that. I really don't. Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell, though, I'm already laughing inside. Just
there's a scene
about that.
There's a scene that's topical to the whole mosquito thing. So we should probably move off it and just have you guys check it out for yourselves.
Yeah.
Getting a question with Ameliola. How should that even be legal for Congress people to be able to trade stocks?
I don't think it should be, personally. I think every congressperson, no matter what side of the aisle they're on, should not be allowed to do that. That is something that you give up if you run for office.
Yeah, and it's just hard to kind of get an idea of what does that look like, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of pushback for different reasons, not just from the people in Congress, but for people about that are interested in the rights side of it. I don't know. I think it's a sensitive topic. I don't think it should be legal, but I think it opens up a lot of many cans of worms trying to make it not illegal for them to trade. Yeah.
That's kind of the cans of worms that you're kind of explaining. That's why I just think across the board, it just shouldn't be done. Nicholas, I like this idea, entrepreneurial idea here. I may have already said this here, but I was trying to build an algo to follow Congress buys and sells, but their disclosure window is too far out. Love where your head's at, though, and love the idea there, Nicholas. Keep that up.
I thought it was like 30 days they had to report that. I might be wrong, but I would be looking if Pelosi sells today, then in 29 days we'll probably end up hearing about it.
Yeah,
I thought it was 30 though. So.
Yeah, this is kind of the take I had, Jake. Oh, no. If you want to run for our government, you should also forfeit your right to trade stocks, period. Well said. I mean, to me, that seems like a simple thing that is not partisan that you could just institute. I mean, maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way, but to me, that seems easy to do.
It seems easy. It's just that I would be on the side of, okay, well, what's going to keep them from telling somebody, hey, I want you to get all this stock for me, so it doesn't have my name on it, but here's a fund that I'm, partial to. Anyway, there's a lot of loopholes.
You're not wrong, but you got to start somewhere, and that's I think Jake's onto something there. At least it seems like that to me. POAI. By the way, how glad are we didn't take another stupid trade at that front running that VWAP.
And Easy Mike is right. It's actually her husband.
Yeah. It's her name that's being attached to it. In any case, And this is what DJF was just saying. They would just use spouses or fines.
Yeah.
We need better candidates, not more rules. I'm with you on that one too.
Yes, we need better
Well,
candidates.
I'm with you on that one too. Anyway, in the meantime, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to use the tools in Benzinga Pro to make some money off what those folks are doing. It's working with PWP.
And
I'll let you know when we actually book those.
And
games.
we actually have that information in Pro too, so we get all that. Like that's one of the things I go to on my calendar when I was looking into Nvidia, as to how big of a stake she had, and when she got it, and just to get an idea of what she's holding and what other members of Congress are holding. And it's great because it's I can tell when it's just a full sale or just a partial sale. Lots of great information here in the government trades tab.
Indeed. ABCL being mentioned here, Abceller Biologics. I'll tell you what, there was a lot of biotech stuff moving today with some of the deals and stuff in there. This is another one that's moving up here. And I'm just pulling random things off the scan. I'm looking to see if any new tickers here on the scanner and seeing if there's anything else that we can trade here. Peggy, this is right around VWAP.
DJF, I'll go one step further. Maybe if we got rid of lobbyists, we might actually have a shot.
That would be great.
Because then we wouldn't have to all be millionaires in order to get our government to actually do something.
Ooh, Pan W. So here, wait a sec. I actually didn't even. Thank you for mentioning this, Easy Mike. I was waiting on a Pan W here, and I didn't even check it today with all of the other stuff going on. Let's see. Let me show you where we're at here on Pan W. This is one of the things that I'm looking at. I'll tell you what, this 200-day has been a great entry for us this year. All right. Now we're considerably above that here. We're 30 points above that. You can see we're really kind of flirting with this 100-day, and we've bounced a couple of times off that. I'm curious if we lose this here. I've got this at 306.54. If we lose this here, do we go to that 200-day at 290? Do we bounce off 300? I don't know. Maybe a small add here if you're looking for a position, and I would be, I don't know, maybe a small add on these moving averages and a break if we really trade beneath these lows. I don't know. I like Pan W. I've got no position in it, but let me know. Let me know what you're thinking here in terms of a new trade entry.
We've been trading for about an hour now this morning, and the broader market, SPY, is only up another 6.5 million shares traded. So we're not really getting a whole lot of movement this morning, especially in the broader market. 6.5 million shares traded after almost nearly a full hour of trading this morning.
And don't forget that SPY was testing that green to red move there when it moved back. I know you said we're up about flat here, up 10 cents on the SPY, 11.
I think we're a little bit down out the open, but not by much.
It's real close. Christoph, I'm having a terrible day. I am sorry to hear that, my man. The sun will be up tomorrow. Cauterize that day and get back at it tomorrow. Becca said, oops, sorry about that. I'll get to that in a sec, Carmen. Becca saying, Ryan, not a quick mover, needs volume, but AXDX for a swing here. Let's take a look at that real quick. Don't think I've pulled this one up here.
Yeah, it looks like POAI is actually going to try to get back up to VWAP again.
I'll go to that next year. By the way, AXDX, this is actually not bad, Bex. This is a really decent, this looks like this was kind of flagging right around $1. It's moved back up over $1. It is trying to get back up there. 373, maybe if this runs. I will check on this. Let me know. Did you take this for a swing? That actually looks not half bad. POAI, let's check on this. What's it doing here? Oh, so let me ask, who's front running the VWAP this time? I know I'm not going to.
Also, Bloom Energy went all the way down to about 638 and bounced off the 200 EMA on the 5-minute. Now it's coming back up. It's messing with the VWAP right now. And what else?
Bosch, you know it's a slow day if you get this from the Wall Street Journal. Headline, what are the sexiest and least sexy things men can wear? Yeah, Bosch, here's what I'll say. Slow days like today, exercise the mind and the body. Go for a run, read a book, or maybe not the whole book, but exercise the mind and the body. Stay away from some of that stuff. Let's see, what else are we missing here? POAI, ARM was getting mentioned.
Yep.
ARM we talked about earlier. That was doing a fairly good job ramping.
LIDR is up through VWAP. This one might get going back up here to the intraday high of 475.
Indeed. HIMS looking like this might be trying to go higher. You know, we got an interesting formation here. Let me go back to the bigger chart here so we can show you that formation on HIMS, just like we did on PanW. Formation here, look at this. Look for this to break 20. Look for HIMS on a potential 20 break. That daily formation is strong. If we zoom out, look at this. This is right above an all-time high break too. I mean, this, just saying, for an idea here, HIMS not bad. And good mention. Who brought that up?
That looked like something I would want my stop to kind of follow it up on. I would think that you raise your stop every time that HIMS goes higher. It looks like it might be getting. I mean, I didn't notice the RSI, but that chart just looked like it was a little extended. Let me pull this up. And
real quick, Shane Smith saying, "Just say no to turtlenecks." This makes me laugh because when I was a little kid and didn't know anything about anything, I loved turtlenecks, but mostly because I could hide in them.
Yeah, HIMS is it's got almost a 67 RSI, and it looks like it does want to get to 20. So I think if I was in this one and I was trading this, I would be raising my stop into that strength, just because it looks like after we get up to a certain height here, or even if we get to 20, and could possibly even break over that, I think that would be the time to sell into that strength. That's my opinion, though. I'm looking at a daily chart to kind of make that determination. That's just my opinion, though. It might, I mean, HIMS is great. It might even go higher, but I think there's going to be some pullback from the overbuying. All right, so SMLR had a good day. That got up to 29.50, and it has been rolling over for the past 20 minutes or so. Looks like this one might be done for the day. Maybe it might find support at 25.50. I'm not sure, but volume's leaving this. MACD's rolling over. This is a good one. I forget who mentioned this one, SMLR, but this was a really good trade this morning.
Sorry, just finishing off one more message here. 1 second. You guys, I love the back and forth on turtlenecks. Yeah. I didn't think that was going to happen here today.
You know, SCFU, they're hiding the vein popping out of their neck when they speak. That's what they're hiding. Oh, good job exit with that CELH exit there, Chris. Great job. Bloom Energy trying VWAP again. It looks like this wants to take the price higher. Let's see what else. POA is kind of going sideways a bit here. Not really sure if it's going to be able to break into that supply zone that was created by the pre-market trading. Break over 225 would probably get this going again. We'll have to wait and see. Lots of sell orders.
I'm sorry.
You're having fun.
It's I am. Look, I what did I say to you in the pre-show fist fight today? Today was going to be a good day. I sometimes these extended weekends, I come back from them. I'm not in it. I'm sluggish. Maybe I drank too much over the weekend. I didn't do any of that this weekend. I was so good all weekend. And I was prepared. I was prepared for everything here today. And as a result, we're having a great day. Yeah. We're having a great day.
It's been fun.
My day trade kind of went. That's really the only bad thing that's happened. The day trade today on POAI was poor. And look at this. And here we go. Remember what we said to look, it's probably not done yet.
Yep. He's got to stay patient. It'll be
Just got to stay patient in there. So this trade was poor. The swing account is making this not even matter. So I don't even care about this. Really good stuff, though. Really, really good stuff.
It's just that, it's doing a good job of chewing its way through this supply zone. I really want to see the volume continue to expand, and this could end up going to 280. If we get any sign that this is putting in some weakness or a bunch of sellers come in here and we don't have the volume to match, we'll get rejected. 250 is the next big level I think it needs to get over. We were already rejected once this morning there.
Okay, Aura Alpha. Ryan has great days because he's the most positive, dopest host on the interweb. 13 is cool too. Lol.
Thank you for the mention.
First of all, you're gonna get bonus points anytime you say interweb. I don't know why, but that makes me laugh. Being positive is a choice. And there have been times where I've shown up in the morning and I haven't been all that positive. And 13 and Alyssa, shout out Alyssa, have tried to rope me into positivity, Aura. So it takes a village. It takes a village. But all jokes aside, one of the reasons we're trying to spin positivity forward on the show, maybe you're having a bad day and something, whether it's a joke, good trade, something, turns it around for you. And sometimes it's the smallest things that turn things around for you.
I like how the comments are really kind of giving it to me like sidebar compliment 13. I'm obviously the Robin in this Batman show here.
So real quickly, we're going to give 13 some of his flowers. We talk a lot about happy hour. We talk a lot about happy hour being successful in all of this. Full disclosure here, I don't think happy hour would be what it is today without 13. 13, not only have you shown up there, but you've really kind of taken over a technical aspect that I think people come back for it. You're really, really good at. The moderating the chat channel has added different levels of value to Pro and basically made the happy hour show just kind of a capstone to something that goes on all day. So you guys are joking about him being. It's not the case. Believe me. I lean on people that I trust. 13 is one of the guys in my corner. So
holy VWAP Batman. Yes, I'm going to use that now. I appreciate it, guys. All the positivity. I appreciate it a lot. I'm here for you guys. I just want to see you guys get green on the screen. That's all I care about.
And POAI, okay, so remember the initial move here, the initial plan here was for this break of 250. I know we printed 252 as the high, but 250 was the break. Look at this. Look at this. We are curling back up. This is another reason why if you take a loss or something like that small, you don't give up on the day. You do not give up because chances are something's coming back. POAI, let's see if this gets moving above 250 here.
It's going to need a lot more volume to come in, especially once we get up into the high 240s, because you got that big old set of orders there at 250 that it has to get through in order to go higher. So the volume really does need to increase, especially up in that area, so we can push through that. Because otherwise, it's just going to get rejected again. But this has been good so far, and we are about to get some EMA crossings on the over the VWAP. So we do that. There could be some entice some algos to come in and push this up. We'll have to see if that's what happens. But those are the levels right now, 250 and 280. Well, I appreciate that, Sully. I appreciate you guys, all of you. Looks like BE, Bloom Energy, is trying to still push through that VWAP. It had one attempt about 5 minutes ago or so. Got rejected. Still hanging out here trying to do it again. Just needs a little bit more volume.
Which I'm sorry, which ticker this?
Is BE, Bloom Energy.
BE.
Mm-hmm. It's having a day with VWAP right now. What else? Okay, so how's POAI doing? Okay, so getting a little rejection there.
I was watching this. I was like, I swear, if this thing just ramps and goes ballistic, it just ramps and goes ballistic. Oh my God, but it didn't.
Oh, Market Sniper. His name is Mitch, and he's great too.
you guys are just out here bringing the heat. You guys are just out here bringing the heat.
Look at that move in NNE.
This was one that you had set up from this morning on some of those nuclear fuels, right? SMR was another one with that one.
Yeah, those because they're in the kind of like a new age, smaller scale nuclear facilities, modular. You know, so it's it was interesting that those names were in particular were moving not with the larger names, but just independent of them. The thing about NNE that I was interested in is that it was moving off the low that it put in an intraday, which is 458. It's come up and it actually tried to get above the VWAP and that was rejected, but it's still hanging up here into this, you know, I guess we'll say in this range. Looks like 480 and 510 seem to be the range that it's in. Whichever way we start trading out of will probably end up being the direction we go for the rest of the day.
SPCE, this is Virgin Galactic. This actually came into VWAP trying to bounce. We'll see though. United States Antimony Corporation. This is a penny stock. This thing had a pretty decent looking 15-minute chart. I'm just rolling through other stocks here.
No, it's fine. I'm seeing I'm just kind of cycling through the ones we've been trading this morning. They're all kind of just looking a little bit red at the moment, kind of pulling back. What's the broader market doing? Is the broader market doing the same thing?
Yeah,
okay,
SPY rolling over here. 229 looks like this actually might go lower here. Let's see on the broader market.
So on Thursday, that low that we got, the candle actually went all the way down to the previous all-time high before we broke. Hold on a second. Let me just get my chart up here so I can tell you a little bit more about what I'm looking at. Come on. Okay. So yeah, the previous all-time high was 524.61, and on Thursday we got what's that? Oh, geez, look what it is.
I didn't want to interrupt him. Sorry.
No. You came in sneakily.
I did. Okay, you want to interrupt? Sorry, 13. Finish your
Yeah.
thought.
Oh, no worries.
I needed to make sure that you didn't get ambushed right there.
Thanks for having my back.
You got it.
But anyways, with the low of that day was actually 524.72. So we came about 11 cents to that previous all-time high. So I think these all-time highs are going to be in play for the rest of the week. The one that we just had before we broke above it on Thursday was 531.56, and the one before that was 524.61. So that's those are the two ranges that I'm paying attention to right now on where this market goes. We break to the upside on the other one. We're probably going to go higher. If we start breaking down from that previous one, the 524 one, we'll probably end up going lower. Hi, Zunaid.
What is going on, man? Happy Tuesday. Happy trading. Hope you guys are making some money in the markets.
Yeah, it's been a good morning.
Yeah, so I woke up today and I said I'm gonna trade. It's been a minute since I've traded the morning session, and I'm glad I did. We're up some money. I'm happy. It's looking nice. Question for you and I guess the chat.
Sure.
Do y'all play, what is it called? Daily fantasy, like in the sense of like an underdog fantasy, price picks, that type of thing?
No, I don't do a whole lot of sports gambling unless football's in season.
That makes perfect sense.
I do though.
Do you do like the prop picks and the player picks or whatever?
Yeah, I do. I just do FanDuel though. So I heard you just mention some of those other ones,
like
that
underdog
aren't
fantasy.
Yeah, I don't do any of those. I do FanDuel, but I do the player prop bets. In fact, you missed it earlier. I was showing I hit an 8-leg parlay, 13 to 1 odds, 13.5 to 1 last night. So 10 to 140.
Dude, nice, man. What a hit. Good morning, Becca.
I hit those quite a bit. I would say I hit probably 2 or 3 out of 10, but I arranged the odds in such a way where it's normally a 10 to 7 or a 10 to 15, somewhere in there.
Dude, that is sick. I actually have all right, well, first off, so in the chat, if you guys would want like a 20 to 30 minute show around daily fantasy prop betting or whatever, you can type in underdog fantasy in the chat, because that's what I'm about to show off here real quick. I have a few bets. One of them is for $1,000 to win. I don't know if you guys can see it, but You guys probably can't.
No,
but I've got like
it's
two.
incredibly blurry.
I've got like 2 slips out right now. Where if I get them right, if Gafford tonight ends up having more than 22 points, rebounds, and assists combined, I'll win 1,500. So I'm a little excited to watch this game, which I think the Mavs are going to drop at home. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Mavs have looked really good. All I gotta say is that you had better call me for that sports betting show. I had better be getting mad because Dude, I'm in. I am your hockey dude.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah,
we're trying to hockey dude.
Yeah.
I actually think this year might be. We're only in May, right? We're at the end of May, but I believe that my hockey bets calendar year 2024 are easily outperforming football, baseball, NBA, college basketball. My hockey bets are where it's at.
All right. I did not know you were a hockey man, but now I know.
Played when I was younger.
Couple of quick charts from me, and then I think we got a few minutes here.
We got 17 minutes here. What do we got coming up afterwards, by the way?
Well, so you've got all access that we're going to have here in just a minute or so. Give me 1 sec, actually. Sorry, I just got distracted. But I'm taking a look at Reddit. So we traded a couple of stocks. By the way, here's what I'm holding, right? Traded earlier today, made some money on Reddit and also on Tesla. I'll share those trades. But you can see I'm still holding on to my Robinhood. We've had this one for a minute. We're up about, 200%, give or take, 250%. We're not selling. And you can see I've also got my L's from my AMC purchases as well. So,
stock profit.
Those are real money, by the way.
Yeah, stock profit. Were you asking about Zunaids here, or were you asking about mine, which would have been this? So just to set the stage here, this is the Trade the Pool hub. They're the sponsor of the stream. This is the ladder. This is really quick order entry. Is this what you were asking about? If you were asking about Zunaids, this is TradingView, where Zunaid, correct me if I'm wrong, but you also do trading through your TradingView?
Yes, and there is a broker that hopefully we will work with and partner up with.
I didn't even know that
which is going to be integrated with TradingView in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And I'm excited about it. Hopefully things will work out. And it'll be another trading show, right? Look, the way that it works, and I know sometimes people get tired of sponsorships and things like that, but we've got to be able to pay the bills, right? And so what we like to do is use platforms that I will, use, like for example, Ryan's using Trade the Pool. I will use hopefully this other broker that we partner up with. And we will trade with real live money here, right? So that's the way that we're going to try to do it. Because we want to find those quality partnerships that help keep the lights on and also provide value to you at home.
And help keep the stream free, right? We don't have some $100, $200 a month chat. No. Free stream. Stock profit. So just to reiterate this right here, this is the hub for Trade the Pool. If you start a Trade the Pool account, you will have access to the same hub. And you can set it up any way that you want. Okay, 13, while we were rambling about all that stuff, what did we miss in the market?
Yeah, let us know. All access after you're done, 13.
No worries. Looks like LIDR. I was mentioning that it looks like if we can, hold this VWAP here, it would be good. The top wicks weren't looking great, but the volume started expanding. So I have a little bit of hope here that we're going to see 475 break. I just need that volume to continue to expand. Other than that, looks like Bloom Energy is trying to break above its VWAP too. Looks like it's in the process of doing that right now. But like LIDR, also need to see some volume expansion. But those are the two I'm looking at right now. I look at LIDR. There it is.
Him is ramping to the highs as well. LIDR, we're going to get that break right here.
And BE. LIDR and BE. Both of them broke. Perfect.
There it is. Literally as you were talking about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Literally as you were talking. Way to go.
It's close.
Right. Junaid, what were you saying about the all access here? We're going to happen right there.
Yeah, we'll get all access going in the chat. By the way, give me a quick one in the chat, right? If you would be interested in a 30-minute show where it'd be all about trading, obviously, and it'd be, a broker that's integrated with TradingView so you can place your trades within TradingView right there. It'd be an additional 30 minutes. Obviously, we try to build on everything that we do here. But 13, Ryan, appreciate you. Any final thoughts before y'all hop?
Go for it, Ryan.
Okay, what are we going to do with that bar on the SPY, right? This was my initial thought coming into today. This is going to be my thought leaving today. If we zoom in here, where do we finish in reference to this bar? If we finish in the middle of it, we roll it over till tomorrow.
Yeah, folks, I'm still thinking that there may be a topping out happening. So just be careful with your capital. If you don't like the way the trade is going, maybe just reconsider it. Take care of yourself. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Appreciate
see you folks on happy hour, and we'll see you tomorrow. Sorry, Z-Man.
Absolutely. No worries. Jason, yeah, reach out to me if you don't mind at zunate@benzinga.com. Would love to maybe connect if there's something that we can possibly do together. Speaking of what we're going to go ahead and do together, you know that we love to have executives from publicly traded companies hop on the show so that we can go ahead and get your questions answered. So make sure you're active in the chat because we'd love to have you be engaged. We do have an interview coming up right now with Dr. Trieu, who is the CEO of Oncotelic Therapeutics. Ticker on the OTCQB is OTLC. All access starts right now. Good morning, Dr. Trieu.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for being on the show. I know there's a lot for us to uncover, but before we do that, for the folks that might not be familiar with your company, give us a quick brief overview of what is it that you do.
Well, Oncotelic, we develop drug to treat very difficult to treat cancers, such as glioblastoma and pancreatic cancer. Now, there hasn't been a whole lot of advancement in either one for a long time. And we develop a drug, TGF-beta antisense that we feel will give a long-lasting cure to these patients. So far, phase 2 trial, doing a phase 3 trial right now in pancreatic cancer, and starting one for glioblastoma pretty soon. So,
let's talk about that, because your specialty with treating cancers, especially in the rare type, you have what you had just mentioned in terms of DIPG of your drug OT101 through a joint venture with GMP Biotechnology Limited. How does the OT101 kind of work, and what does that partnership really look like?
So what we did, we formed a joint venture with a 60 billion fund that so they put in the cash and we put in the asset, and so we own 45% of the joint ventures, and they put in initially 27 million, and they're gonna put in another 10 million. So that joint venture is gonna go IPO in Hong Kong, and either late this year or early next year. And the plan, talking to banker and folks, they peg in the valuation at 1 billion. So that's a big upside for Oncotelic shareholder.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, that's exciting stuff, especially with the billion valuation possibility with the IPO in Hong Kong. Coming back to trials here, can you give us a little bit more insight on the progression of the OT101?
OT101 is going through a phase 3 trial in pancreatic cancer to get approval. It's roughly about 500 patients. Will take about 2 years to finish.
Yeah.
And we probably will have an interim read in a year and a half from now. We have recruitment starting in multiple sites, and we're going to announce data as we have it coming along. So it's all looking good because the phase 2 data have been very good. As you know, pancreatic cancer, you don't survive that. And yet in our phase 2 trial, we have 5% that's complete responder. So patient actually cured using OT101 as single agent. So in this phase 3 trial, what we're doing, we're combining with standard of care, which we call M4FOLFIRINOX. And we feel that combining with standard of care, we're going to have even better response.
You mentioned, one, I think it's great to kind of see that progress because I have, friends and family who know people that have kind of dealt with pancreatic cancer. So it's definitely an unfortunate and serious thing that you're working on there. You have typically, whenever, I talk to companies, they have drugs that they're working on that are primarily for one thing. However, it can also help treat other things as well. So is that something that OT 101 can kind of help with? Like, I know you had a COVID-19 aspect of it related to it while you're working on the cancer side of things as well. So is that true? Like, it's kind of multidimensional in what you can treat with it?
Well, OT101 target TJ beta, which play multiple roles. It's important in the COVID-19 because it had the TJ beta surge. So knocking down the TJ beta surge, we're able to treat the COVID patient during the pandemic.
Yeah.
But also, in oncology, the tumor make TJ beta to mask itself from the body immune system. So we're testing the drug in glioblastoma and pancreatic cancer because those are the two areas that you go in. Most drug go there to die, right? So we feel that if our drug works among those two indications, then we know for sure we have something. And indeed, we have activity in both. But we plan to move that forward to other to cancer, such as melanoma and breast cancer and lung, etc. So it pretty much can be applicable to multiple tumor types. And then more interesting also is that TGF beta play a role in aging. And we feel that if you knock down TGF beta, you would improve on the aging. So that's a long-term goal, but that's what we're looking at.
So when you have talked in the past, you mentioned about the partnerships that we kind of dug into, right? So let's talk about the assets that you kind of sold to Mosaic Immunoengineering. What does that deal look like, and how does it help where you're trying to go?
Just like what we did with the joint venture for OT101, what we did now is to create value of our internal asset. We have asset that is a vascular disrupting agent, CA4P. We utilize our AI technology to look how we can best use that drug. And we found that it would work really well in retinoblastoma as well as in uveal melanoma in the ocular space. So we essentially spun off that to Mosaic. And after the transaction is complete, we'll be in control of Mosaic, and we'll develop Mosaic into $1 billion company, just like what we did with the joint ventures.
And are you seeing like a shift in the markets, whether it's in the aspects of the funding that's happening there, cash availability for biotechs in general, whether it's in the technology, especially with AI kind of being a predominant part of the conversation in just about every sector? What trends are you kind of seeing there?
Yeah, I think funding is been very tight for biotech company, but it's opening up. The IPO window is opening up, so we're very optimistic about our joint venture going IPO. Now, there's a lot of good asset out there that not being developed because funding is difficult. So this is a good opportunity for us to, given the fact that we have access to cash from the joint ventures, we can go out there and acquire asset that we like. And more importantly is the fact that we have AI technology within our company. We've been building that many years, long before the ChatGPT story. But using that, we're able to develop drug a lot faster, dive into the data faster, and get insight that no one else would be able to. Yeah. So that's all moving very quickly for us.
That's the thing where ChatGPT kind of made AI popular among the mass markets. However, AI has kind of been a thing for quite some time, and different companies have been using it to streamline their data for quite some time as well. Any other thoughts from you in terms of what could be happening, what's in the pipeline, I guess, for the company? I'd kind of love to turn the floor over to you and especially give the viewers an idea of what to expect, not just in the remainder of 2024, but also possibly ahead as well. I know you already mentioned the tests and the trials that you're kind of going through at the moment, but what else is in the pipeline?
Yeah, we in the pipeline, we, like I said, we have the joint venture that developing OT101 that moving forward really quickly. We build out a nanomedicine platform that allow us to nanosize any water insoluble drug as well as water soluble drug that will solve some of the problem that we had early on. As you know, we developed a Braxane as well as Symbolog, and they became billion-dollar drug. But inherently, they have problem that our new nanomedicine platform will resolve. And then we also have this DAO technology where we build token based technology to allow you to use AI on top of that. So now that we have moving forward to commercialize this ocular oncology drug, once we have more bandwidth, we will start working on this token technology, and that would be exciting.
That does sound pretty exciting to me. And thank you so much for your time here this morning. I greatly appreciate it. I look forward to more conversations as you achieve these milestones in the trials that you're currently working on.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you, chat, for being active and, hearing us out with the conversation. We've got Kaiju coming up next. But again, thank you so much to Dr. Trieu, who is the CEO of Oncotelic Therapeutics. Ticker on the markets is OTLC. Don't go anywhere. We're have a great show that's going to continue. It's going to be with Aaron Bree and also Ryan from Kaiju. We're going to talk more AI, so that should be a fun one. Stick around. Don't go anywhere.